Okay. So, as I said, the theme for this month is unlimited, right? So, I just came back from Toronto. I flew out on Thursday, was there all day Friday, and then came home yesterday. So it was kind of a whirlwind trip to ordain Reverend Jonathan. Now, just so you know, yes, what ordination means is that a minister has gone to a level of ministry where that minister is now going to be, has decided to be, and is being committed to being a minister for life. So I guess up to that point we can quit. But now you're a minister for life. And it's a real big deal because it means that you're saying, I am committing to be this. I'm committing to this level of consciousness for life. And I couldn't help but thinking as we were doing the ceremony, and it's a beautiful ceremony, and we certainly will get to see it here probably very shortly with so many of the ministers getting older and getting ready to be ordained. So it's a beautiful thing, and it's a very, very deeply felt thing for the congregation as well to see their minister really step into that line. But I had this thought. I was thinking to myself, I think everyone should get ordained. I do. I think everyone should get to some point in their life where they have to make a decision to be that for the rest of their life. That, and what am I saying? What is that? To be a person who is committed to living at a level of consciousness that they are unlimited. And here's the deal, you know, as Barbara sang in the song, it is about working it out. Isn't that what we're all doing? We're all working it out. So the first thing I want to really get to, and as I was preparing my talk for today, you know, ministry for me is an ever-evolving thing. I change daily. Things just grow and evolve, and I change and I grow and I evolve. And so even though I picked this month of being unlimited, my first thought was, what does it mean? What does it mean to be unlimited? And then I run into somebody in Toronto who says to me, I love this whole thing. I am God. I just love being God. I can do anything. And then this person went on to tell me all the problems with their life. Right. And so I'm sitting there going, but you're God. You can do anything. And I sort of said it, not that way. I was like, but you're God. I was like, really? Do you know what you just said after I'm God? And what I got was that the idea of I am God can for some people sound horrible and sound so, insulting, sacrilegious, and for some people it can be like, yes, I am God, but it doesn't matter which side of that equation you're on. It's nothing. It means nothing until you actually do something with it, until you actually make it work for you some way. And for me, I am God is not sacrilegious at all. It's not even saying that I am God and there's no other thing in the world but as God. It's like it's all God. If you get that. And really what I got sitting there talking to this person, I was like, okay, so you're God, and here's how you're living God. Really low. You're living God at a level of consciousness that's not making you happy. So that's when I came up with this idea. Every one of us should be ordained. We should all decide at some point, I am only going to live this I am God thing, by the way, which is really just a theory and a philosophy. It's no big deal until you make it that. Right? I'm going to live this at this level of consciousness, and I'm going to decide to do that for life. Not just in and out every now and then. So when you go to this idea of anything is possible, is anything possible? I want you to think about this for a minute. Today's going to be very thoughtful, just so you know. Is anything possible? Is anything really possible for you in your life? How much can you affect how the world is changing? Now, first go to is anything's possible. Now, let's just say, if anything's possible, how much of the world are you affecting right now? How possible is it for you to affect the world right now? Now, don't get into this, don't go into that big place of, I can change everything because I am energy, and energy moves, and all that's true. But I want you to take it down a notch. Right to where the rubber hits the road, and to where you're living. And just say to yourself, can I change the world? Do you really feel like you can go out and change the world? And more importantly, how can you affect your own world? I mean, what kind of changes can you make in the world, in your own world? I mean, what does it mean when we say that we're unlimited? Can I change my world? So I was jogging this morning in my neighborhood, and I noticed all these things that were changing. And I realized that there were a lot of people making changes in my neighborhood. Anybody else's neighborhood's like really changing? All those little cute houses are becoming big houses, right? And the landscape is changing. And I even made a wrong turn the other day driving home because a new building went up when I wasn't looking. Anybody feel like that happens? And all of a sudden I like made a left and I went, what street am I on? Because I thought it was the right street, and it was actually your building, Jamie. It's like all these buildings around you. I can't even find your apartment anymore. What?
They put you in the building.
Overnight. So there's all these changes going on, but here's the thing. A lot of things are changed in the world, but those things also are changes in my world. I didn't make them happen, or did I? And yet they're changing me. So the question is, how much effect do you have on the world around you? How much can you change? And really more importantly, how much can you change in your own world? So here's what I started to think about. I started to think about, I could just stop everything, sell everything, and move to, Zimbabwe and change. Wouldn't that change my life? Wouldn't it? It would change your life. You couldn't come here on Sunday. Well, you could. Someone else would be here. But things would change. I could go change my life that way, couldn't I? Or I could stand perfectly still and not change anything. Anybody ever try that? I'm not going to change anything in my life. I want to keep it exactly the way it is. Nora is always talking to me about that because, I'm always saying, oh yeah, we're going to sell the theater. She goes, no, you can't change my life like that. Or I'm going to sell the house. And she's like, Dad, you can never sell our house. That's my childhood house. That always must stay exactly the way it is so I can always come back to it. But I used to think that too. I remember when my father sold our childhood house while I was in Denver doing Brigadoon. I flew home from Denver and I was like, before I flew home, he said, there's a new address. I was like, what? Well, first of all, I was living in New York, so he had all the right to sell our house. And he said, oh, we've made a room for you. It looks exactly like your old room. But by the time I got home, he'd changed his mind and said I didn't need a room. So by the time I got home to Southampton as opposed to Philadelphia, it was a whole different thing. And I remember thinking to myself back then, how dare they change my memories? Well, first of all, they're just memories. So this whole idea of unlimited and anything is possible, I want you to be realistic this month. I want you to be very realistic. And I want you to decide, how possible is it for you that everything's possible? And how unlimited, truly, really, how unlimited is your life? Because here's the thing. Who is unlimited? That's the bigger question. It's not, is it unlimited? Who is unlimited? You are unlimited. If you're going to live this month and say, I am unlimited, who is unlimited? Barbara Shane, is Barbara Shane unlimited? Can you point to people and say, Meryl Lee, she's unlimited. I know she's unlimited. I've watched her tap dance. Who is unlimited? Are we unlimited just because we are people? Am I unlimited just because I'm a divine being? What makes me unlimited? These are important questions, folks, and here's why. Going around the world, I'm really starting to understand, and I'm putting together, I'm actually going to be the keynote speaker in London in the fall, and they're asking me for my topic, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm listening to the people that are all speaking around the world, and I'm like, all these ideas are great. And I can get up here on Sunday and really excite you. I'm really good at that. I can get up here, make you feel so great, and within an hour of leaving this building, I bet your life's coming back into perspective. And you're going, oh, wow, what did he say? I'll hear him next week. I know how this works. So unless we actually start being ordained into this teaching, we're kind of going to just keep sort of playing the game without ever winning or without ever getting to home plate. And I think we can. So who is unlimited? You are, because of who you are and because of what you have. Because you are so incredibly integral to life. Life itself, like my neighborhood, will always evolve. Life is always going to be moving, always changing, always doing what life does, evolve. You are part of life. Your experience of this life is what you're in charge of. That is it. That's the key to this entire teaching. Your experience of this life. Can you change anything? Sure. Sure, you can change anything. Could I be the president of the United States if I wanted to be the first gay president of the United States? There probably have been a few. We don't know. But could I be the first president of the United States? The first gay president? Or I don't even care about that. Could I be, because Kevin would make an amazing first lady. I know he's watching. If my text goes off, you'll know what it is. He'd get a lot done, I can tell you that. I don't know how much governing I'd get to do, but he'd get a lot done. Back to what I really want to say. Could I be the president of the United States? Yes. So this idea of being unlimited, anything is possible. Whenever I say anything is possible, people come at me with these obscure things. Oh, anything's possible. So if I wanted to, I could go live on Mars. You know, they'll ask me something that seems completely like I have to say, no, you can't live on Mars. But I'm still going to say, yes, you could. You could live on Mars. Anything is possible. But here's the deal. Anything is possible in your experience of life to the degree that it fits into the law of cause and effect. That's what we teach. I'm a spiritual being living in a spiritual universe governed by my use of the law of cause and effect. That's what we teach as divine principle. I am a spiritual being. I am that which is God. And so is this entire universe. So I am that essence of God living in this God universe that is governed by a law of cause and effect. So here's the deal. I can have anything. It is unlimited. Everything is possible to the degree that I have caused it to happen. You have to cause it to happen. Did you put enough cause into being able to move to Mars? Probably not. Did I put enough cause into the universe for me to be president of the United States? No. No. I didn't even go to law school. How many actors are going to go be... Oh, we did have one. Good point. Right, but he did run the Screen Actors Guild first, so he knew what he was doing. You all know who I'm talking about, right? Ronald Reagan. For anybody who's sitting out there going, what is he talking about? So here's the whole thing. Everything is unlimited to you. Everything is possible. And this month, I want you to really live this, really get this, really decide to be unlimited. But if you're going to decide to be unlimited, that means you have to decide to cause whatever you want to happen. You don't just get to say, I am unlimited, so I will have $1 billion by the end of this month. Did you cause that to happen? Did you put anything into action? Did you do anything to be the effect to that cause? Because that's the way it works. Now, once again, and by the way, that's what it means to be equal to something. For those of you that get confused when I say, you have to be equal to it or you don't get it. You only get what you're equal to. But when I say you're equal to it, I mean you have used your mind in such a way that you have caused the effect of your life to show up. So you're equal to it. That's the whole way this works. That's the way unlimited works. So you can be active in your life and you can go change everything up, or you can be passive in your life and try to stand still while the world evolves around you. Your choice. And that's the great gift we have, choice. Great, great, great gift. So this is the month we get to really put this science into work. It is a science in that the law of cause and effect works. Just like gravity. If I throw something up into the air, unless someone's up there to catch it, it's coming back down. Same thing with your thoughts, your beliefs. If I throw my beliefs into the law, it's going to create something in my experience. Unless there's something there to catch it, like you. To catch that man upstairs that's telling you you shouldn't be wearing that dress. Or to catch that floor above you that is telling you you've already had your best days. So just relax and live it out. How many people still think that their best days are over or their best days are behind them? And here's the thing. When you are creative, when you are creating, most of the time, when Karen started talking about being limited, because that's a little piece of my talk this morning, if you are unlimited, where does limitation come into play? This is very important. You know where limitation comes into play? Do you know why you are limited? Do you know the only reason you are ever limited? Because of habits, beliefs, and memories. We live so much of our life based on memory, knee-jerk reaction to memories. You have the feelings you feel, you behave the way you do because of some memory that you've had. So your job is not to go crazy about trying to go find all this crap that's making me the way I am. That's not it. But your job is to, when it comes up, there's the catcher, catch it. Catch it, mentally, catch it. Say, oh, I feel like this, and I know why I feel like this because boom, 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 and I don't need to feel that way anymore. And so it is. Done. End of story. So this month, you get to decide where your unlimited stops and where it starts. As I said, you can be active, you can be passive. But it is within the law of cause and effect. So here's the deal. There's the theory of science of mind, and there's the practice of science of mind. I think we've been in the theory for a very long time. And I think the practical is what the month of April needs to be about. Really being practical. How many people here would really like to practice this philosophy this month? Really say, I am willing to practice this. Okay, so here's what you have to be willing to do. First, you have to be willing to know who you are, and that you are unlimited, and that you have everything possible for you to choose from. Then you have to be willing to cut off from all of your perceived limitations. And when you hear one come to mind, not just do what's that thing they say when you're just saying, I can't remember the word now. Anyway, when it comes to mind, not just doing it lip service, let's say, but when it comes to mind, actually, literally, honestly, gut-wrenchingly look at it and say, what do I know? What do I know here? Something comes up and says, oh, you couldn't possibly do that. Why? Why can't I do that? And the answer may be, you haven't really put the conscious work into creating it. And that's okay. Don't go ballistic over that. You know, you're 61 years old. I'm 61 years old. You're whatever age you are. Whatever age you are. I'm 61 years old. I've never done, for instance, I really would love to be a piano player, a brilliant piano player. So would a lot of people who sing when I play for them. like me to be a better piano player. But I would love to really be Paul Horner. I would love to play the piano the way Paul Horner plays. And we have a brilliant, famous piano player sitting right here today. And which isn't why I thought of this. How funny, but there you are. So, Paul Horner, yes. I would love to play the piano. Can I tell you this? When I was 20, I said to myself, I really want to learn to play the piano. I think I got a book and I taught myself the piano. Somewhere around 30, I said, I really should take lessons, because if I took lessons, I'd be a great piano player. And this went on. I'm 61. I still haven't taken a lesson. Would you? And that's the way it works. I will pick you. I will take you up on that. So I have literally been saying this for years and years and years, but I haven't done a talk that actually got it to happen. I haven't really done it. I even one year, Jonathan said, I know Jonathan will watch this later. Jonathan, one year I said, I am taking piano lessons this year. I'm definitely doing it. And I found this guy in the Studio City Gazette or something that taught piano, and I cut it out and put it on my desk. It sat in front of me for a year. And I remember one day Jonathan came in to ask me a question, and he walked in and he went, how are those piano lessons going? And I was like, what? He goes, on your wall. I went, oh, why even bother? Right? So your job this month is to really get it. I mean, that's practical. I'm not going to get upset that I'm not a brilliant piano player. I have not put the work in to be a brilliant piano player. I get that. So if you have a career that you want to have happen, really look at yourself and say, I mean, so many actors, people that want to be actors, a lot of people that want to be actors don't want to be actors. They want to be stars. So they haven't put the work, right, Bob Marcy? You know, you coach them. So they haven't. They haven't put the work in like Alex Robert Holmes has to be an actor, to really act, to really study. I did. When I went to New York, I danced my ass off. I had 3-5 classes and became an actor. 3 and 5 classes of dance a day. I took voice lessons 2-3 times a week. And then I got into Sandy Meisner's acting class and literally said, I will give you 2 years of my life to teach me how to act. And I did. And I was there 3 times a week. I mean, this is what you do. That's the cause to the effect. I have become a wonderful actor in life. I really have. Thank you, I know. No, but truthfully, I know I'm a good actor. I also know I'm a good director. Why? Because I spent years learning how to direct. I put the energy in. That's all we're about, cause and effect. Same thing with your mind. I can say I'm unlimited until the cows come home, and it is absolutely the truth. But I am unlimited with the caveat that there's a law of cause and effect creating the experience of my unlimited self. You're limited because somewhere along the line, that's what you created. That's how you use this unlimited universe. So what if we just turn that around? What if we just look at it the way we could look at it in a positive way, which is saying, okay, I am unlimited. So what is it I say I really want? And by the way, if it's love, then you must be equal to it in mind, which means get everything other than love out of your mind. Because if you're saying you want love, you cannot be walking around with hate or anger or any of the things that are different machinations of that energy. If you're saying you want money, that you want prosperity in your life, you cannot be walking around with thoughts of lack. That's the law of cause and effect. It works in every area of your life, every area. So yes, I want this month to be about being unlimited, but do I want it to be a month where unlimited is a theory? No. I want it to be a month where it is a practiced idea, and that we know how to get there. And that's what I'm really starting to understand. You have the greatest tool that this universe could ever possibly give you, and it's sitting right there in your consciousness, and it's your mind. Everything is created in mind first, and then it shows up. Everything. So everything that you have right now is started in your mind, and it has ended up on your plate. I don't think there's a plate big enough for what I can conceive of you creating. I don't. I think if every single person sitting here today and every person that watches this online, if every single person gets this idea that they are unlimited within the law of cause and effect, and that whatever they cause, they will receive. Whatever they take in mind, they will receive. If every single one of us gets this, I see that as a whole new way of living. Even though we've been teaching this for years, getting it out of the theory and into the practice of it, really practicing it, really believing that my mind's creating my experience, really believing that when Ernest Holmes said there's a power for good in the universe and you can use it. And then I get that and I say, because you are it, so be it. And then I'm going to go back to Ernie. Use it. Use your mind on purpose. It is unlimited in scope. And there's a lot of stuff in there that could be limiting your use of mind. Pay attention to it. Honor it. Respect it. Know what it is. And then do something with it, like let it go. Set it free. That's what we're here to do this month. We're not here to just run around, flitting around saying, I am unlimited, I am unlimited. No, we're here to be serious about this idea. I am unlimited. And it's time I started living the unlimited life. Not just knowing it, but actually living it. That's your job this month. That's my job this month. Let's do it together, and let's keep each other on track. If one of your friends, your husband, your wife, and not by saying this, oh, what are you thinking? Oh, I didn't like what you just said. That doesn't work. Not chiding one another, just reminding one another. You might want to think that a different way. Some way that helps your brothers and sisters, helps us all. We can do this as a community. And then we do become such an unlimited expression of what this teaching has to offer. And that's what I'm here to offer. what this teaching has to offer. Through me, as me, because of me, in me, within me, without me, all of it, for each and every one of us. So there you go. Namaste.